Hello, it's Nemesis Nick here. I'm a keen fan of the Eurovision Song Contest. It's time to talk Eurovision. This video is about Bulgaria's entry to the Eurovision Song Contest 2021. Bulgaria's entry this year is Growing Up is Getting Old, sung by Victoria. Last year, Victoria was going to represent Bulgaria with the song Tears Getting Sober, which was a really sweet song, very much a Disney-style song. As we all know, the Eurovision Song Contest 2020 was cancelled, so Victoria never had the chance to perform Tears Getting Sober in Rotterdam. That was last year, and Victoria is back this year with the song Growing Up is Getting Old, and just like last year, it's a ballad. Looking at the lyrics, the song structure seems unusual. Fair enough, there's the block from playing Tetris with my feelings to wondering where all my feelings go, which one could call the first verse, and another block from don't get it to are hiding all my tears, which looks to me like a second verse. However, there isn't an obvious chorus that repeats itself in full at various points in the song. Between the said first and second verses of the two lines, nervous system's aching, growing up is getting old. After the aforementioned second verse, there are four lines. I'm torn by nervous system's aching, growing up is getting old, anxiety is draining, getting up is growing old. It looks as though that is an evolution of what appears between the first and second verses. Interestingly, Victoria sings these four lines more strongly than the pair of lines between the first and second verses, and the music is more intense here than the two lines between the two verses. Going back to the beginning, there's a pleasant introduction. As Victoria sings what I call the first verse in the official preview video, there is what I call a clock ticking sound. It'll be interesting to see whether or not that ticking sound is included in the backing track for the live performance in Rotterdam or in the live on tape performance. I think that should be retained, as to me that represents the passing of time. In contrast, that ticking sound is not present in what I call the second verse, so one is able to focus more on the rather soothing sounds that are present in this part of the song. Moving on to the three-line section starting, and if I ever take that second to leave my worries behind, which presumably is a bridge. Victoria seems to sing this at a slightly higher pitch, and the music is more powerful here. The highlight of the song is the part which follows, and growing up is getting old, growing up is getting old, getting up is growing old. Here the music is at its most intense. There is some noticeable percussion here, including what sounds to me like cymbals. Finally, the song significantly eases off from the line, "If your world is breaking." The final line in the preview video sounds more like speaking than singing. Maybe Victoria will perform that line in a similar manner in Rotterdam. Altogether a pleasant ballad. Some may consider it dated, but I think it's timeless. Although the structure seems unusual with no obvious chorus, it builds up to quite a powerful section near the end before easing off for its closing section. Furthermore, based on her entries last year and this year, Victoria has a beautiful voice. It'll be interesting to see how this is staged at Rotterdam or in the live on tape performance. A song of this style will call for subtle lighting with no flashing lights. However, there are few, if any, elements in the preview video which could be recreated on stage. At Eurovision, Bulgaria will be song number 13 in the second semi-final on the 20th of May 2021. Interestingly, and perhaps worryingly, that means Victoria will be performing Growing Up Is Getting Old immediately before the lively rock song Dark Side from Finland. It'll be interesting to see how that affects Bulgaria, if at all. Time will tell whether or not Growing Up Is Getting Old qualifies to the grand final. The United Kingdom votes in the second semi-final, but time will tell whether or not I will want to vote for Bulgaria that evening. Good luck to Victoria in the second semi-final and in the grand final if she gets there. So you've heard my views on Growing Up Is Getting Old, but what do you think of his song? What do you think of Growing Up Is Getting Old in comparison to Victoria's song from last year? That being Tears Getting Sober. Is it better, worse, or about the same? Do you think Growing Up Is Getting Old is a good choice of song to represent Bulgaria at the Eurovision Song Contest this year? Do you think Growing Up Is Getting Old stands a good chance of qualifying to a grand final and doing well once there? Or do you think it will be eliminated in the semi-final? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you liked this video, remember to hit the like button. And if you're liking all my Eurovision videos, remember to subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, power up. Goodbye, da boch, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, adios, arrivederci, do widzenia, do widane.